You know, it's like you're friends with someone for 8 years from first grade all the way to your freshman year of high school, and you're bound to find weaknesses in their character and how they act. But then there's those people who take a joke way too seriously and alienate your entire friend group. Then you realize in reality they were just a snake. 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 Just a snake.
Okay, we're doing this again. I've already done this before with my friend Joseph, who, well, I know you guys didn't get an update about it, but we're on better terms now. But I'm gonna be talking about someone who I've been friends with for about 8 years, ever since like first grade, I think, all the way up to now for my freshman year of high school. So, what happened? Well, to put it all in a nutshell, my friend Haytham got pissed off about one stupid little joke I made about how he looked. And he's done that several times to me. But I'm going to analyze this in a transition. So I'll see you guys there. So, I'll just wrap up the whole situation here in a nutshell, and I'll just show you guys the more interesting part. So, to start off, Haytham would be going to the gym with my other friend, Antonio, who's a cool guy. And they would just stay there for a long time. But whenever they wouldn't go, Haytham would be all angry because, he wouldn't get to work out. But then, besides that, this dude would just make fun of my weight constantly. It's like, what the fuck, dude? I told you to stop doing that, and I don't like those jokes. I'm not comfortable with them in any way, shape, or form. Antonio stopped because I told him to, and also, he's just a good guy. He knows when to stop. But Haytham thinks, you know what? That's not enough. I gotta really make sure this bitch knows the fact that he's a fat boy. And it's like, do you think I don't know that? It's like Haytham acts like whenever I make a joke about him, he thinks that he's a victim in the situation, when in reality, he doesn't know what it's like to be as, heavy as I am. So, yeah. He started going to the gym, which, if that never happened in the first place, this whole situation never would have, been brought up in the first place. So, eventually, I got sick of all the bullshit he's been pulling, so I made a joke about how he looked. So, before I would make a joke about his haircut, I'd be like, okay, that looks like it's just terrible. And for one day, I would go on with it, and then I would just stop. This dude just keeps the whole joke going for a long time. So, yeah. I made a joke, I said he had man tits, and then this dude stopped talking to me because he was, just constantly crying about it. He was just getting so mad. So I was just like, really? One joke hurt him? And I'm just thinking, does he know how I feel whenever he constantly makes jokes about me and I made one? Which later on you're going to see one of the messages, he literally says, words hurt him? It's like, bruh, you're the one who's crying about one joke with barely any words in it. So anyways, let's get into the more interesting part, the text messages, which Antonio thankfully shared with me. Okay, now, right before we get into the text messages, here's something else I gotta show. So in Discord, he actually banned me just because of the fact that he got pissed at me. But thankfully, through Antonio, I was able to join back in. Here's the thing, though. This dude is probably the least smart, just saying, out of our whole friend group. So then, this dude tries to prove that he's a smartass by looking up something about gymnocosia, or however the hell you say it, that has to do with male breast cancer. I'm like, really, dude? Really? You're trying this hard to make yourself look better than us by looking up something on the internet that's probably not even going to be true for you, even though I don't know anything about male breast cancer. But besides that, yeah, there was one other thing that slightly annoyed me during this thing, is that if you could look at one of the messages I sent, I said, first off, shut the fuck up. And then he said this is a typical example of someone who doesn't have a comeback because they're mad. Here's the thing, though. Since he moved me from the server, I couldn't say all the stuff I wanted. So the only thing that got to him was me saying, shut the fuck up. I was going to say a lot more, but he kicked me out, so I couldn't say anything. Anyways, besides that, let's just get into the damn text messages. Okay, here's the thing that's really confusing to me. Whenever this motherfucker says he's going to start using his fist to talk, since he won't listen, here's how it really went down. Whenever I actually tried to walk up to him to start talking, he would just go silent. And even when I tried to explain something to him, he wouldn't say a fucking word. Right here, he's saying he's gonna try to fucking hit me or some shit, even though in reality, he never even tries to hit me. I mean, even when we're messing around with each other, when I friggin' fake hit him, he doesn't even try to do anything. This is a typical example of someone, and I know I'm doing the same shit he did, of someone who's all bark and no bite. They act like this, but in reality, they're just giant crybabies who don't know how to deal with this. So they just try to say, oh, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, but they don't. Whenever also he would say something, whenever I would show up, he would just instantly walk away, as if he knows he couldn't win. Here's the thing. When one of my friends, Jethany, came up to him just to say something, Haytham said this, I have plenty more fat jokes to say. But then I ran up to him and I'm like, okay, motherfucker, if you got all of them, say them in my face. But he didn't. He acted like a pussy and walked away. Here's another thing. He's saying, and fat jokes hurt him. They're just words. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. If words will never hurt you, then why'd my joke piss you off so much, huh? Explain that to me. If my joke wasn't supposed to hurt you, like, because it's just words, then why are you so mad at me then, huh? Oh, well, I guess the great fucking Haytham Washington can't explain this to me. And bitch really tried to bail out of it by saying I don't have anything to say, even though Jethany clearly told me that this dude said he has a bunch of fat jokes to say to me. So say it to my face then. This dude was so annoyed by a man-tits joke that was only half true that he was in the mood to commit freaking physical violence. He had to talk with the damn counselor. Imagine wanting to commit physical violence because someone made a man-tits joke about you. And once again, this dude doesn't have the guts to fight me. I'm like, bro, he made one joke. He's like, no, he kept mentioning man tits, and it's not a joke. Oh, so all the jokes he made against me, calling me fat over and over again and mentioning I should go to the gym are jokes? That's not a good excuse. Oh, and also, that's one joke. What else? What's different? It's just man tits joke. So what if I keep mentioning it? That's just one joke. And then he says this, because it's kind of true, I have it. And I was like, okay, then why do you make fun of his weight? He is fat. And he's like, it's just in my blood. Like, really? That's your excuse? So you're allowed to make jokes just because of the fact that you say, it's in my blood. It's not in your fucking blood. You're trying to use the best excuse you can to escape the situation because you're a hypocritical moron who doesn't like to take jokes from other people, and you think that you're allowed to make jokes about other people and think there's no consequences for your actions. I'm not gonna lie, I do get mad at other jokes from people making fun of me or making fun of things that shouldn't be jokes in the first place, like with suicide jokes. But in reality, it's just me and my friends. I remember I gave so much shit to Joseph, especially with the whole thing that I got into with him, like with the whole drama thing. But I'm on better terms with Joseph, and I'm just more accepting now rather than just being a stupid crybaby who got mad because he made a bunch of dumb jokes. Okay, this next message is kind of different compared to the others because it brings up something else. Because if you look right there, it says he stopped bringing up kinks a long time ago. So here's the thing. Haytham and a couple other people, like, pretty much we're all into some kind of weird shit. I'm not gonna lie. I know this is embarrassing and all, but all of us have our own weird things that we're into for some fucking reason. I have no idea why I like the stuff I do, but I do. But for some reason, I just found Haytham's the weirdest. So I just started making jokes about it. And then I stopped after like 2 or 3 days. Then he's like, and then he kept on saying, oh, you're still bringing it up. And right here he says, he literally brought it up a day ago. It's like, no, I didn't. You're lying through your teeth and just saying that to make your case better. And also, this doesn't have anything to do with this doesn't have anything to do with the freaking man tits joke. What does this have to do with it? You're only mentioning it just to make your case look better and to make you look like you're a better person than me. When in reality, you're a horrible freaking friend who's been a snake all this time and I never knew. I thought I knew how to pick friends, but you were just a horrible friend who seriously didn't like to take criticism and whenever got proved wrong, you got pissed. So let this be a message to you, Haytham. You're pretty much going to take this video the wrong way and going to start clapping back at me with the dumbest insults ever, but let this be a lesson to you on how you make jokes, okay? You're never allowed to make a joke about me unless I'm actually okay with it. And all I did was make a half-true joke. So stop whining, pull up your fucking pants, and man up. Seriously, after all this time, you're in high school. I should not have to tell you to grow a pair.